Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Health Talk. I just made that name up. Health Talk. You can tell I just made it up because it's not very original. My name is Howard Jacobson. I'm the Chief of Behavioral Science at WellStart Health and co-author of Sick to Fit. I'm also the host of the Plant Yourself podcast. And these talks are all designed to help you live a better life through getting control of your behaviors around health. So when we want to achieve some outcome around our health, we can't just think about it, wish about it, have attitude about it. All those things are important. Ultimately, it comes down to doing. It comes down to behaviors. So these talks are really focused on behaviors, on getting us to do stuff. And today I want to answer a question that was posed in response to yesterday's talk. And yesterday's talk was WBW, or what by when, the three words that can turn your vague intentions into actionable plans. And when we apply that, the what by when, what do I want to achieve by when? I want to lose 15 pounds by September 1st. I want to get my A1C down to undiabetic levels by November 3rd. I want to be able to walk a mile in under 22 minutes by January 5th. What by when? Then provides a framework, a structure, and it articulates what might have been like a vague goal, like, oh yeah, I want to get in shape, which is not motivating to anyone because it's too abstract. There's no picture there, right? Because we're competing. Our motivations are competing, right? That's the big problem. On the one hand, I have this motivation to be healthy, to feel good, to be off my meds, to look a certain way, all this stuff. And on the other hand, I have this motivation right now to eat the Ben & Jerry's. And it's not a fair fight when I can picture the Ben & Jerry's. I can imagine it, the feel of the vegan caramel vanilla crunch, the cold, the crunchy as it had, and then the salty bits in there. Like, I can really picture that on a visceral level. I can sense it with lots of my senses, whereas getting healthy and fit not only is in the future and theoretical, but it's vague. So what by when turns these vague thoughts into visually stimulating, maybe orally stimulating, maybe other senses somatically stimulating visions of what we're going towards. So now we can start to move in the right direction. It's like the what by when is kind of, you have this great GPS in your vehicle, and it doesn't really help you until you put in a destination. Right? Yeah, you can look at the map and you can see where I am now, but without the destination, you don't know how far to the destination. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get to the destination. And most importantly, you don't know whether to go north or south, east or west, up or down, left or right. So what by when is the means by which we turn vague intentions into action plans. The question that was posed was, what about when it fails? What about when we set this goal, this intention, I want to lose 15 pounds by September 1st, and then we can do some backwards calculations, reverse engineer that, and say, well, that would mean 2 pounds a week. I would need to lose 2 pounds a week to achieve a 15-pound loss by September 1st, for example. And now I say, okay, well, the next step, of course, is to create the plan, the behaviors that are going to get me there. And at WellStart Health, we do a lot of coaching on, so this is the mission, these are the key results, and these are the key behaviors. Well, I have to do this in order to reach my goal. So it might be things like, I'm going to walk for at least 45 minutes a day. I'm going to stop eating after 7 p.m. I'm going to start every lunch with a whole food plant-based salad of at least a pound, right? So these are the things they might we might adopt in order to get to that goal of 15 pounds by September 1st. And then the question is, what if we're not getting there? What if after week 1 we've gained a pound or 2 pounds, or we haven't lost anything, or we've lost half a pound, and we see we're not on the path to achieve our goals, or we go through the whole thing, and then September 1st comes along and we've only lost 3 pounds, or we haven't lost anything. Isn't that demoralizing? Isn't it worse to set this goal and fail than to just sort of be vague about it, and at least we can feel good about ourselves? So 3 thoughts about that. Thought number 1 is, when we set a goal and don't achieve it, we're really no worse off than if we didn't have the goal in the first place. We can feel like we're worse off, but that's a choice, right? So to try something and not succeed in any arena of life, we could either say, oh, well, I'm a loser, I tried it and I failed, or we can be more realistic about it and say, I tried something that I wasn't sure I could achieve, and I didn't achieve it. But you know what? I'm better for having tried, and I've learned something. I've learned a few things, and maybe I'll try again, right? So if you're into entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurship literature is rife with these stories of serial failures who failed again and again and again, and ultimately succeeded, and now our hindsight looks at them and sees them, well, of course they were going to succeed. Of course they had this brilliant idea, or they're just a genius, or the market was right. And we ignore the necessary failures that led up to that. So trying something and failing, when we think about it the right way, is actually a step forward. It's not a terrible thing. Second thing is, once we've set that goal, the what and the by when, we don't keep our eye on it on a consistent basis. It's not like we set the GPS and then the GPS screen locks at the destination. That wouldn't help us very much if we don't know the way. What helps us is the screen shows us where we are and points to the next thing to do. So once you set the goal, kind of forget about the goal and focus on those key behaviors. Focus on counting how many days this week did I have a big 1-pound salad at lunch. Count how many days this week did I walk for 45 minutes or more. Count how many days this week did I manage to stick to my rule of not consuming calories after 7 p.m. So if we're not reaching our goal because we're being lax in following our rules, the things that we say are going to get them there, then we need to focus on all the behavioral strategies that we show in Sick to Fit and that I talk about in the Plant Yourself podcast, and that we guide people through in Well Start Health onto how do you then keep those promises to yourself. One solution, of course, is to back them down, is to, instead of a pound salad, maybe I'm just going to have a baby carrot with lunch. And I'm going to do that for a week or a month to prove that I can change a behavior. And then from there, I can build on it. Maybe instead of 45 minutes, I walk for 2 minutes every day, walk to the mailbox and back, and establish that, seed that habit into the soil, and then grow it to the shape that it wants to, and the size and the structure that it wants to be at. All right, so once we set the goal, we don't obsess about the goal. I would check, on a weekly basis and see, am I going in the right direction or not? Or if you want to weigh yourself daily, keep a 21-day running average so that you're not upset by little fluctuations, noise, rather than the signal of the system. Third thing is, as Josh LaJaunie coined the phrase, results dictate sufficiency. So if you have your goal, it's a cherished goal, and you're not achieving it, and you're doing all the things that you said, pound of salad, 45-minute walk, don't eat after 7, and you're still not losing weight, this is a chance to be okay with reality and to not say, well, that's not fair. I said this should happen, and I want it to happen, and why isn't it happening? Instead, we say, okay, well, the results I'm getting show me that what I'm doing is either incorrect or insufficient, or incomplete in some way, that something has to change if I want to attain my goal. And it's not necessary to attain that goal. It's a choice. So if we're doing something that's not getting us where we want to go, we can either choose to change where we want to go, bless me, or we can change our strategy to get there. And this approach, this making friends with reality, this is a really, it's a very important, because most of us, through various cultural conditioning and individual life traumas, are not in touch with our bodies. And if we're not really in touch with what's going on in our bodies, it's very hard to be present. And if it's very hard to be present, it's very hard to be present to reality as it's happening right now. So this practice of honoring reality for what it is and not trying to wish it into something else actually is a practice of presence, a practice of embodying ourselves, of becoming more whole. Yeah, Birdie. Preach it. It's a practice of unifying. That bird is so much more interesting than I am. Wow, beautiful. Anyway, I hope you can hear it. I hope I'm not just pretending here because I have this noise filter on my mic. Anyway, I'll check and see. So making friends with reality and being willing to adjust either the destination or the means by which we're going to get there is a very powerful, practical and spiritual practice that can help us be more comfortable in our bodies, be more attuned to our environments, be more present for everything that's happening in our lives. We don't just want longer lives. We want longer lives in which we are conscious of them so that we can be there, we can enjoy them, we can contribute to make the world a better place according to our values, goals, and priorities. So I hope that helps. I love that someone asked the question. So if you have questions, anything you'd like me to talk about in a future talk, health talk, just jot it down, let me know. And please share this with other people. It helps me to kind of spread the word about how it's possible to be healthy, and which of course is a very selfish thing for me to do, because imagine how much happier I would be if I lived in a world in which people were healthy and happy and kind, as opposed to the world we're living in right now, in which there's so much pain and suffering and projection of pain and suffering onto others. And second, if you would like to work with me on a personal level and to work with the WellStart team and to experience the WellStart platform, check us out, wellstarthealth.com/program. And we would love to invite you to join us for one of our 12-week intensives, followed by, if you like, 9 months of continued support. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.